Alright, this is a 2024 950K. Now, I'm going to do the air, oil, and fuel on it. First thing you're going to want to do is go over here to the what would be a passenger side of a car and pop this off. It just pulls out of these tabs located here and here. So I'm just going to pull up and move it out of the way. All right, now that that's out of the way, I'm going to have my pan down here. I'm going to kind of move it underneath my drain. Which is right there out of the oil pan, and it's like a garden faucet style. So let's go ahead and reach down in there and get that draining. I'm going to use a rag. It's pretty hard on the fingers to break these loose. There it goes. Alright. Hopefully it's landing in the bucket down below. I don't know because I can't see it right now. Alright, out of the way, and sure enough, it's draining in the bucket down here. Alright, well that's going on. I'm gonna go up top, up here to I might have to move that somewhere. This is a better view. Right up in that area, there's the air box. So let me go get my air gun. Alright, so what you're going to have is this deal here. It's got a handle. Let's go ahead and pull it out. And there's going to be all this dirt and nastiness in there. So I'm going to take my air gun with a long extension, and you're probably going to want a mask or whatever when you're doing it, and blow this thing out. Woo! Now, I absolutely recommend that step. Okay. All right. Hopefully you're still getting me. So I'm going to take my inner filter, open it. Put my hours on it, type of service, month, initials. All right, new one's in. Okay. Same thing here. I'm gonna go ahead and slide that in. Now, you almost have to beat these things in there. It's slid in, but there's still like going to be this 1-inch gap here. So you push, you see how I'm pushing and it's not going in. So I just take my hand and I tap it a few times in. So there's that. All right. Now I'm gonna start in the middle. Go back and lock it in. There we go. It wasn't all the way on the top. There we go. All right, that's locked in now. All right, now I'm gonna go get some filters real quick and also show you how to do this element here, which is a burp box basically for the crankcase. And I need to go grab my oil filter wrench. First, I need to pick up all this trip hazard off the ground. All right, the oil is still draining. That's good. Now, while this is going on, I'll tell you what you missed. You missed me blowing out the engine bay with my air gun. It was covered in dust and soot. And got all that out of there. All right, so let me get up here and show you how to change out the burp box filter, or crankcase element filter. I'm sure there's many different names for them. Okay, so I've had people ask me how to do these before, and let me try to get a good angle. Okay, I believe that's a good angle there. It's as good as I'm going to get without a cameraman. Okay, let me take my air gun, just clean around it. Okay. All right. So this is just my 17-inch channel lock oil filter wrench, which I put just like that, and then I turn it to break it loose. Then see there, it just kind of wanted to pop up a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my screwdriver and just go around a little bit. This is the first time it's probably ever been changed, so don't go lifting at one spot only. All right, there we go. That's it. Now there's a seal here. Sometimes these can become very hard to get on and off, so I like to keep the same one on there and just keep breaking it in. Oh. Yeah, because I won't be able to tomorrow. All right, sounds good. All right, thank you. Bye. All right, now it's gonna come like this. That's the spare seal I was just showing you, or the new one. I'm not gonna put that in because I want that one to break in, so it can come in and out real easy. All right, now I'm just gonna go down here and pull this up. Look at the difference. Look at that. Old, new. Okay, so that opening here always faces towards this tube opening here from down below. So I'm going to put it in the same way. Towards the tube inlet right here, and then on this bottom there's this thing, notch, and that notch is going to go parallel with that hose there, and then you're just going to slide it down and then turn it to the right a little bit, and there it went all the way down. Now there's a line here and a line here. We're going to turn it to the right and lock them together. That's done. Done deal. All right, let's move on to the next. Alright, let's... Alright. You got the shot. Alright, we're down to a little itty bitty drizzle down there on the oil. Let me show that. It's just barely coming out now. That's the last little bit. So we're moving on to the oil. Alright, lefty loosey. Grab a rag. So in case anybody was wondering, that was the part number for the element. Now we're going to take our rag and clean around the opening where the new filter is going to go. All right, I'm taking the plastic off the new filter. I'm gonna take and fill my filter up. If it was really windy, you wouldn't be doing this step here. I wouldn't be changing the oil at all if it was really windy. Okay, take this, a little oil, put it around the seal. All right, back together. All right, I'm using 2 hands and I'm putting it on as tight as I can with 2 hands. And that's all I want to go. I don't want to go any tighter than my Gorilla Grip with 2 hands tightening that. It's plenty good. All right, now I'm gonna squeeze up in here and close my valve down there. All right. Shutting it off. Make sure it's snug. You don't want your motor oil running out. All right, now I'm gonna clean around my cap. Okay. All right, so I believe this one's 5 gallons. Let's find out. Two gallons. And you don't want to go spraying in this tube too fast. It could burp back at you, so you just kind of want to go half throttle on it. Three gallons. Four gallons. I'm going to look at it now. Let's go ahead and give it 5. Five gallons. Okay, we got oil on there. We're in business. All right, what I'm going to go ahead and do now is we're going to go up in there and start it up before we take off the fuel filters and whatnot. We'll just complete the oil, totally complete it, start it, check the oil again, and go from there. Boy, it's hot in here. I'm going to crack a window. Okay. Yeah, this is a nice machine. If you notice, there's no steering wheel. It's joystick steering. All right, let's go ahead and shut it down. Let's get back out there and double check our oil. right. All right, we're right in the center hash mark there. And I still believe there's oil draining from the top of the valves and everything coming down right now, so it'll keep rising. Yeah, so we'll call that good for now. I might need to add a tad bit later, but I think right now we're good. My fill cap back on. Woo! All right, I'm going to put up my trip hazard. Okay, I'm going to go over the numbers I have here. That's it. That's it. And I'm going to move my jug out a little bit closer to catch the fuel if any spills. Okay. Grab a I'm grabbing another tray here to play with. Down underneath me. All right, so let's see if I can get a better angle on the dangle. Okay. So here's how I want to do it. We're gonna disconnect our sensor. Okay. What is going on with this deal here? There we go. Okay. Slide that out. And I haven't crack it loose. Oh wow, look how long these ones are. Alright, that'll work. As long as these are somewhat loose. Okay. Open. This is a very new machine. I don't think these are going to be dirty at all. They're going to be sparkling clean. Okay. That's that. So let's get a look at this real quick. So here's the filter that came out. You can see it did catch some dirt at the bottom there, and the top's rather clean. Okay, next. Oh boy, this one's in there tight. Please don't break. Ooh, I don't know. Wow. Okay. There it goes. Ooh, that was fun. Tasty. Okay, so this one did catch quite a bit. So that's dark, caught quite a bit. So we'll give you a look what a new one looks like. There's the brand new one, looking pretty. Let me side by side that just so you get a better picture of what's going on here. Old? No. And now I am going to prime these with fuel. I'm not going to have it in view of the camera because I can't do two things. I can't film and fill it at the same time. Alright, looks good to me. Alright, let's go up in there. Okay, so this is aluminum, not plastic. I was worried I was going to break it. I'm just going to put that hand tight, just like that. Nothing more required. Here's the other new one. Okay, priming. All right, that's fully primed with fuel. It's going back up in there. All right. Okay, there we go. It's as tight as it needs to go. I'm going to slide it. Well, yeah, slide it back in. This stupid thing. There we go. All right. So there you have it. We have oil, air, and fuel, and I'm gonna clean up and put the rest of this stuff back together, and that's it for today. 950, 2024 950.